Let's dive into day two. One question I have for you that I would love for you to answer as our recap from yesterday.
Hmm.
How do I get in front of prospects?
Yeah. So one of the biggest, I mean, this is like the number one question that people have is where who do I talk to? How do I talk to them? And again, I'll probably going to give the probably a very similar answer to what everybody says, because there really is no secret weapon, or there's really no way around the hard work. I when I originally started, it was anybody anybody that I hired was getting a pitch from me. Anybody. So I had to get my garage door repaired. I was making sure he knew what I was doing. All plumbers, electricians that I had in the past, um, I told them that I was doing, and it was always the free work. It was always like, "Hey, let me. I'm working on something cool." And this is how the conversation went. I didn't pretend I was an expert. I didn't promise that I was going to change their business. I literally was like, "Hey, I found out this cool thing that can get you more leads. You mind if I try it on you?" Like that's what it was. It won't cost you anything, and if it goes well, we could talk about payment afterward. Yeah, sure, man. Like that's what the conversations are like. But most people just don't do that because they think that they need to sound smart, I guess, or they need to know more than they really need to know. When I was a teacher in a high school, the first day I was teaching, I remember being so nervous. Like I was like, "Oh my god!" I was 22, and the
What
kids in
grades? What grades again?
high school, like so I was teaching
Okay, okay.
seniors international business, which I knew nothing about. By the way, I was just like hired as a business teacher, and they're like, "Here, you're gonna go teach this. Here's the book." And my father, because he was in education, and my mother was in education, my sister, um, he's like, "No, man." He's like, "Just read the first chapter. You just have to be one chapter ahead. They're gonna think you're brilliant." And I was like, "Okay, so as long as I just know a little bit more than they do, I'm gonna sound like the expert." And that's how I carry in business. If I just know a little bit more, which all of you who are listening right now, believe me, you all know more than any business owner that you're going to talk to. They don't know any of this stuff. You guys know that, right? You guys know that you know more than any business that you will ever talk to. So you should never be afraid to kind of just tell them what you're doing. Scream it from the rooftops. Now, you can add in cold calling, cold emailing, LinkedIn prospecting. You can add all of those things in, but I am a believer in warm market, close to you, ask for favors. Who's a business owner? Who could I talk to? The local dry cleaner. Like it doesn't matter. Just start talking, and then all of a sudden, opportunities start to come.
I love it. Let's see who's all checking in today. I see a ton of comments already. Let's see. Awesome. Let us know what city and state you're checking in from. Um, it would allow you to kind of network with people in your area. We have all kinds of programs in almost every city now. There's something called high level hangouts. So you can actually go do happy hour and
Yeah.
hang out and like do just meet with people. So it's something that I think it's important. A lot of those early stages happens here in these commenting, and you get to connect with people. James, what do you got for today, man? I know we had a lot to cover yesterday. We very much focused on the sales process.
Hmm.
Today I think we're going to open up a bit more of the what the four, five stages. There was total eight. We talked about the first three. We have five more to cover today, as today is the last day of the event.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a simple service and go high level. It's our trial service. It's our reputation management. Explain a little bit about what it is. Um, Add a little sprinkle a little AI to it, and then
Yeah.
I'll show you guys or how to position yourself to charge a lot higher prices than maybe what you currently, or maybe some people just, are charging higher prices. And we're just going to stack services and how the value ladder works. And I'll throw out a quick 5-day plan, if you're just getting started. Simple
Yeah.
plan, nothing crazy.
I love that. I'm kind of curious on the energy of everybody right now. Like, can I get some comments? Like, just simply say, let's go, or just tell us where you're at. Like, give us some sort of interaction so that way we know to kind of field the comments that are coming in. James is a pretty busy guy, and he runs a pretty active business. So I want to be respectful of his time and maximize the hour and a half here today. So James, if you want to share your screen, let's go right into it. As these comments are flying in, I see people in all kinds of just different time zones. So for those of you that are watching late, thank you. Let's see. We got Anne Mary saying, let's go. Paul Graham says, let's go. Chris Young says, let's do it. Megan says, hello. Jonna says, let's go. Let's see. Paul says, hungry for more. So the giveaways. Yesterday you had giveaways, so we got a couple more giveaways today,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Okay, cool. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be, yeah.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, the guy that won yesterday emailed me. I got him access to all
Okay.
that stuff that I promised. He's stoked. He can't wait to come on today. I got a couple more coaching spots to give away. They're built into the slide, so when I hit one, I'll give something away.
Okay.
And so if you guys are excited about that, because it's like, let's see, let's 3, 9. I mean, you're talking about like $15,000 of value that I'm going to give away today. So if you guys are happy about that, I'd like to get a bunch of comments
Yeah.
just
The
before I
the
start.
most activated, the most interactive person's gonna probably have a good chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's get right into it. Day two is here.
Yes, let's do that. Let me just jump over here and pull this over. All right, cool. So we are on. Let me just open this and slide it in because I'm gonna have to show this. All right, I'll pull that over later. All right, cool. So day two. All right. So what do we got? So like I said, we're gonna do a little AI service setup. How you gonna charge more in a 5-day plan? All right. Now I can't. Let me put this comments over here. Okay. So have you guys heard of rep management? Now, a lot of times people will say, especially in this AI world, we find ourselves wanting to be like the knight in shining armor, right, to a local business. We want to impress them. We want to learn complicated, hard things. So then we think because it's complicated and because it's hard that the business owner is going to want it, right? And that is the actual. It's the opposite. That is true. Um, the harder things it's harder to understand. It's harder to set up. It takes longer, and a lot of times things break. So you're setting things up. You're trying to create all this automation and crazy things for a local business, and then they're wondering why it's been 8 days since you took a payment or started a trial and nothing has happened. So we want to pick something that is simple, that is easy, and most important, that they can see result from immediately. That is like the number one thing is the minute somebody says yes to you, how fast can you get them a result? And a result is literally a 4 or 5 star review when you're running rep management. Very, very simple. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is consider it like a brand service. We're going to use email and text. Text when applicable, because the next question somebody's going to ask me is, well, what about A2P stuff? Right. What about it? You're exactly right. So when things get complicated, I remove it. So essentially, if I'm setting up a business on a trial, and I'll jump into Go High Level in just a few minutes, um, I'm going to eliminate the text. I'm just going to say I'm not going to deal with that until they're a retainer client, and then I can get them compliant. I'm going to set up a simple email, and we're going to use email to go after their current customers to generate online reviews. Okay. We send a review request to existing and new customers. Existing would be for trial, and then we set up a process for it to be ongoing. All right. It could be manual or automated. We talk about that. And it's a high perceived value service, generates new positive online reviews. It's going to reduce negative online reviews, and you'll see why. And it's active and works very quickly. All right. Most people don't voluntarily. Oh, so this is another question that people will ask, like an agency owner or somebody who's starting this business is like, well, wait a minute. Doesn't businesses always ask for reviews anyway? No, they do not. They actually, like, restaurants you would think do. And believe it or not, even restaurants are horrible at this process. Now, why? because for them on their side, it's a manual process for them. They have nothing in the back end asking reviews. They have no text messages going out. They have no emails going out. And I'll give you a perfect example. I have a dentist over in Ridgewood, New Jersey. He's the best, this guy. And it's a big business because Ridgewood is it's a very affluent area. And so his prices are pretty high. And the first time I walked into his office, I sat down on the chair and I remember saying to myself, man, this is great. I'm going to get free cleanings and dental work and anything my wife needs for free. Because when I sat down, I looked in front of me was a printed out QR code that says leave a review. I actually took a picture of it. I was going to show it on here, but I forgot to upload it. And I remember saying like, oh my God, this guy is like perfect to pitch him a rep management service. And that's exactly what I did. And so even a big business like his, and he didn't have many reviews because it was a piece of paper with a QR code. Like who's going to sit in a chair and scan it and then, go? Like people do, but that's what should happen is the minute I walk out, I should get a text message that says, hey, thank you for visiting our office. Hey, if you had a good time or we treated you well, leave us a review. Does everybody agree that it should happen directly to somebody's phone or directly in somebody's email, right? That's the fastest result you can get. It's the easiest and it's the most seamless. Okay. But the bad part is, I mean, for us, it's a good part, is that when somebody has a bad experience, they will leave reviews. They will be the first one to leave a review. So if even if you have 100 happy customers and 2 bad ones, I can promise you the 2 bad ones are going to leave a review and the 100 happy ones will not if they're not asked. Okay. So the clients benefit. It gives business a simple, fast solution to manage and monitor their reviews, increases positive customer reviews with little effort, helps clients filter and address negative customer experiences. This is prior to them hitting the web and damaging their brand, and increases online exposure. Obviously, more reviews, higher rankings in their Google business profile. They look more professional. People choose them, right? If I'm searching for a dentist, am I going to go to, if it's not a referral, am I going to pick somebody who has two reviews or somebody that has 150 reviews? I think it's obvious, right? Everybody agree with that?
Yep. Yep. So the takeaways I have so far is one, in your trial phase, don't waste time building up this mammoth of a system just to see how you work together. So, like, don't introduce texting and all the stuff. Wait for that to be done. Just do emails on reviews until you get to a point, and then you deal with A2P and all the stuff.
Yeah.
That's actually, James, one of the first times I've ever heard an agency owner recommend that, which I think is pretty interesting. I think I agree with it because you don't want to waste all this time configuring all this for like a blind trial. You don't, even if it's a paid trial, it's still a blind trial. So
Yeah.
that's a big new insight for me, even personally. The second component of it is that I'm taking away so far from what you said is small business owners are terrible at reviews. We know that. But as a consumer of small business services and products, we all know when you have a bad experience, we all would tend to leave a bad review.
Yeah.
If that's the case and they only get bad reviews on bad experiences, you're not helping them flood their ecosystem with positive reviews, then a business is kind of vulnerable by only receiving bad reviews
Correct.
because bad reviews will come in even without an automation.
Exactly.
If that's the case,
Yeah.
don't the regular review system is going to save them essentially.
Exactly. 100%. And by the way, I'm also a consumer that leaves bad reviews and very rarely leave good ones.
I've only left one bad review. It was at a barber. I
Oh,
waited 2 hours on an appointment I had. They charged me like $75 and I'm on my way to the airport and I'm like, I'm gonna have to pass on this. And I'm like, I'm just gonna pay for a service that I didn't even get. I'm just pissed off at that point. But that's the only time. But they never prompted me to leave a review.
yeah,
I was
exactly.
like looking to leave one.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the point. And look, a lot of businesses don't even understand how the rating works. like, the overall rating obviously is the average of all the stars. So, even telling a business owner, like, look, you're going to get bad reviews. There's just some people in life that you can't make happy, but we need to go after the ones who are happy. And that's probably most of your customers. And you're not even going after them. Why are you not going after them? Most of the time they just say, I'm just too busy. I mean, when you ask a business owner, why aren't you doing insert, they are too busy. That's where our opportunity is. Okay. Click. So here's kind of like a snapshot overview. We essentially what we're doing is we're sending emails, texts, if they're a retainer client, and it's very, very simple. A text goes out or an email goes out and says, "Hey, leave us a review if you were happy with what we did." And it looks like this. It's just a simple form. I'll talk about making it more beautiful when we jump on the computer. But I'm giving you like this simple way of doing this. And it's just 3, 4, 1 through 5 stars. They click which one they feel is necessary. And then if they click 4 stars or 5, it just prompts them a link to review us on Google. And then it goes directly to your client's Google business profile review link. And then you can leave the review. If they have a bad experience, 1, 2, or 3 stars, we just pop up a form that says, "Sorry to hear you're not satisfied. Fill this out," and then it says, "Thank you for your feedback." Now, people are gonna say if they haven't, is my screen not showing?
Yeah, like right now you're not sharing a screen, if that's what you're wondering.
Ooh.
You just stopped sharing like a minute ago.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were like making an emphasis point and took it off of the screen. So
Got it.
I'm just,
No, I think I was over on this side and hit enter, and
there it is. Okay, cool. Let me
let me go back.
swap. You're good. Yeah, there we are. Give us a one in the chat if you can see the screen. Yep, we're good.
Okay.
And by the way, I threw up the QR code for those that want a trial, and you definitely want to jump into the trial if you're wanting the collaterals and resources from this event.
Yeah,
But let's
and we'll
keep going.
talk. I'll going to talk at the end when we get. Actually, when I jump into Go High Level, I'm going to show everybody where they can, with that snapshot, where they could find all the free resources and stuff. So let me repeat this because my screen wasn't showing. They get a link. They click the link. The customer. This is the business owner's customers. We're sending it out to them, right? If they click 4 or 5 stars, we send them a direct link to Google, and then over here, essentially when they click that, they go directly to the Google business profile, the business's Google business profile review link. So then they can leave a review right away. If they have a bad experience, 1, 2, 3 stars, it goes to a form that says, "Why were you not satisfied?" And then "Thank you for your feedback." Now, somebody is going to say out there, if they haven't already, is this review gating? Okay, so here's what my my personal opinion is. I am asking a customer to give me feedback if they're not happy. This is like I'm internally wondering how we did. All right, I need to collect my data, and if they're happy, I'll give them a link. Now, there are some people out there, and this is fine, that are scared to death to do this. So all we do is if you see down here, you could see this, right? Yeah. If you see down here, when we say "Thank you for your feedback," our management team will review it and get back to you as soon as possible. We can also put a link under there that says, if you still want to leave a review, so then you don't feel like you're going against Google's policy. Okay. Does that make sense? Because it could be a gray area. I could see why people, but I've been running this and I have hundreds of students that run this. We've never had any problem, but I can see why people are too scared. So if you just put a link on the bottom of that feedback form that is the same link as this, make it nice and small, at least we're providing the link for them to leave a review on Google, and it wouldn't be considered gating. Make sense? Oh, there you go. See, Bart said that I put the link to the Google profile page beneath the form. Okay, feels much safer. I knew there was somebody. So he must be doing the same thing. Cool. All right. So I guess we'll walk through, I think. Yeah, we're going to walk through. All right, let's go up to here. Let's go into our Go High Level. Let me go view full screen. Oh, no, I'm in full screen. Okay, cool.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
go full screen on the streaming itself as well, if that's okay.
Okay.
How is that? Do you see that better? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
All right. So you guys, let me first. So the snapshot link. By the way, if Paulson, I don't know if you saw this, but I had to give you another snapshot link. So
Yeah, yeah. I saw this
okay.
morning that you updated it, which thank you, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was going to happen. It just never, I never can get it right. So the snapshot link, if you got it from yesterday, again, I don't actually know where they're being provided. But the snapshot link you're gonna have to get another link from them, which is on my head.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
we're gonna update it. So
Oh, there we go.
we haven't sent out the snapshots so far. So at the end of the event today, if you registered for this event, you will get an email that says, "Here's a snapshot link that's part associated to this event." I believe at the end of the day as well, Jordan, who runs our community team, he'll also drop the snapshot link.
Hmm.
But here's the thing: you're gonna need a high level account to use a snapshot. It's a
Yes,
high level specific feature mechanism, just so you're aware.
correct. Yeah, so you obviously need Go High Level, Go High Level for this to work. And so if when you do get he posted the snapshot link. If you want to pull it into your account, I suggest you just watch and you don't try to follow along. You could always rewatch this. But the first thing I want to tell you is if you go into memberships,
And you're in a sub account
I'm
view,
in a
right?
sub account. I'm in my
Yeah.
practice account over here.
Yep.
Okay. Should I go to the agency dashboard and
Yeah, do you mind just real quick just walking through the agency dashboard for people that are brand new and then just going into the sub account? For those of you that are saying, "Hey, I don't have my link yet." Yes, I'm aware. We're going to make sure we email that to you at the end of the event today, and we will post the link in the stream comments as soon as we're done. So for now, just watch the walkthrough and then you can do click by click later.
yeah. Um, so when you first log in, I don't want to go out to the dashboard because I have numbers there and stuff, but you would just come down to sub accounts and you would just create a sub account. Uh, do I need to walk through that? I don't know
No,
if
no,
I
no.
no.
No,
Okay,
no,
so
no.
you would
Yeah.
create a sub account and then like I have a practice account here, so I'm just going to click it and go directly into it.
Yep.
And then I'll click up here to switch to sub account. So now I'm in what you would consider your client. So I'm in their account. Okay. So then go down to memberships, courses, and products. And here is where you can kind of get an understanding. I have this built in there. You guys should all have access to this. So you'll click this and then go instructions on getting bonuses. And then here's where they all are. It'll be listed here. Actually, you know what? Let me go to workshop. This looks different than what it's going to look like for you guys. Workshop. I just want to make sure everybody understands all the jargon. So I'm going to go to courses, products. This is the updated one. All right. So everything discussed on the 8th and 9th can be available. I have a little bit of extra stuff for people who get Go High Level under using my trial link, and then anybody who can upgrade. So everything will be explained here for all Go High Level users. I give you the snapshot, more snapshots here, a bunch of resources, so on and so forth. So when you have time, go through it and you'll understand how everything works. I have links, explanations, and all that good stuff. Okay. All right. So let's go. We're first going to start with, we're going to look in automations. So we have two automations here. We have a referral automation and a review management automation. Yours should look exactly like this. So if I look into the review management, there's going to be 4 different automations that are kind of working together when doing this. All right. Now, I also have a checklist that you guys will have access to. It looks like this. And essentially, it's like, I didn't want to bring it up because there's some things that we don't need to do. But essentially, from literally starting and creating your sub account to importing the snapshot to what to do, every step of the way. All right, you guys will have access to that in the snapshot that you guys got. Okay. So let me explain each one of these 4 steps. So this one is customer draw past customers. So essentially what we do, and some people don't feel comfortable doing this, but it is, in my opinion, it is not against Google's policy. Google's policies essentially says it's against their policy to pay people to leave reviews. Okay. Everybody understand that? What we're doing is, and not, by the way, not all of my clients have ever needed this, but it really works really well. Is when you send a request out to their client lists, we basically say, hey, we're doing a $50 Amazon gift card giveaway, uh, basically like a pool. Like anybody who leaves a review, will pick one of you and give you a $50 gift card. Not everybody, but one of you. It's kind of like a giveaway contest
A
type,
raffle,
like a
basically.
raffle. Yeah, like a raffle.
Yeah.
All right. And so that's what this is. Past customers, customer draw. This automation is ongoing. So this is an ongoing review management. All right. So if we're doing past customers, this one is off. We would essentially turn this one off. Oops, I just published it. It was already off. Hold on. I think I got to switch back to my practice account. Yeah. I'm in the wrong one. All right, let's go back in here. There we go. Okay. All right. So this one, we wouldn't, if we're doing past customers, we won't even look at this. So we will turn that one off. And then I'll go back and explain that one. When we go into our past customer list, the trigger of it, so what is going to start this this workflow is a tag called reactivation review. So if a contact comes in and is tagged reactivation review, that is where we're going to start texting, emailing. If you don't want to use text, you just delete this. Okay. So if you look at what the email would be, it's basically customer appreciation giveaway. And then in my custom value, I'll go through this, is the prize that we're giving away. And then it basically says, hey, we're doing a customer thank you draw. It only takes 5 seconds to leave a review on Google and be entered to win. And then this link, I'll walk you through that process, is the link that they can now choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, and then maybe leave a review on Google. Okay. And then what we do is we just keep sending them for like just 3-4 days or up to 5 days. And then if they don't, we don't want to keep hounding them to leave a review. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, quick question: what are the qualification points to be tagged as a contact?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
What are the qualification points to be tagged as a contact? Like, how does the business owner tag a customer that should be getting these
We
automations?
do it as the
Okay,
agency. So what we do is in our trial period, we ask them for a small list, name, email. We don't even, it could be a phone number. If they don't want to give phone numbers, name, email, name and email. And then we would go in, import the list, and then tag them
got it. Got it.
to
Okay,
start that automation.
got it. And just to clarify something real quick, I see some of the comments that are coming in. James provided a snapshot link. We had an update this morning that he adjusted with it. So there's an updated snapshot link. We'll send that over to you at the end of the event. We'll make it available as soon as we're done with the streaming in the comments. Our community team already has it. We'll have it all available so that way you have it. So stay tight. We're going to make sure you get all the resources.
Sweet. All right. So I'm basically going to explain all this stuff, and then we'll put it into action. All right. Review link clicked. So this is an automation that is triggered by if they click one of the review links that is in the emails. Okay. It was either a C1 or a C2. Let me just show this. C1 or C2. Okay. Past customers or new customers. So if somebody clicks the review link, we're going to remove them from these automations, because there's nothing worse than just keep hounding people to leave a review if they've already clicked, at least click the link. Okay. They may not have left a review, but there's nothing we could do about that. If they click the link, that's good enough for us to remove them from the campaign.
And
And
and for a 30,000 foot view, you are in the trial phase with this prospect at this point. You
yeah,
haven't sold services. You're like, hey, let me show you proof in the pudding a little bit.
yep,
Send me potential lists of people that you worked with. We'll get them reactivated on a review
correct.
campaign raffle. That's what I'm understanding so far.
Yep. And like Natalie B said, import list, add tag. Yes.
Okay. So
That's
is there a size of list that you're paying attention to, or like what's
yeah. So if you remember in our little sales or client qualification interview process, we're gathering that information in the discovery questions. We're seeing like if he if somebody does not have a list, which happens, then we're kind of like we could help them build a list, or why like this is where we discover like why don't you have a list? Maybe you should get a process in place. I can help you with that. I've had many students, and I've done this myself, where they like we were paid to basically go into the office and say, hey, let's get you all the like give me all of the contacts you have. Where do you have them? On paper, stacks of paper. I mean, like invoices, going through invoices where they wrote the name, email, and phone number down on invoice pads, and we charged them $500 to get them into Go High Level. So that's a service too. Anything there's opportunities to make every problem that the business owner has. You can make up a service, for Christ's sake. I mean, it's just like
yeah.
that's the opportunities that it is.
Yeah, and certain industries have different volumes, right? If you work with like a loan officer, as an
Yeah,
example, mortgage person, they may just have less than 10 people that they're working with in a month, versus a restaurant, they might have had 1,000 customers. So, and you're only emailing because you're in the early stages. You're not
right.
wasting time setting up A2P and all the
Exactly.
shenanigans. No shenanigans in
Yeah,
trial
and so
phase.
believe it or not, for like real, this is really good for realtors and mortgage loan officers because they do have a database of past home buyers and sellers, and
Mm,
they know all their people, and they just never have thought about asking them for reviews or any of that sort. So the
yep,
negative feedback is going to be these are going to be the stars. So the form that was submitted, we have the form as reputation review form. You'll see it in a minute. If they submitted a 3-star, a 2-star, or a 1-star, we'll remove them from the C1, C2 campaign. We're going to add a negative feedback tag, and then we're going to let the client know, hey, somebody just left a bad review, so you better go check them out. Go
yeah.
contact them.
And why do you name these things like this, like C1, C2, C3? What's the benefit of that for somebody
Can't,
that's new?
so C1 would be campaign one, past
Oh,
customers.
gotcha,
C2 would
gotcha,
be
gotcha.
campaign two, current
Yeah.
customers.
So all the folders and steps, you do have a naming convention. So when you
Yes.
have like 100 of these, by the time you're working with the client in 6 months, you don't
Yeah.
have to go back and rebuild the original offers.
Correct. Exactly. Yep. And you could run them simultaneously. It doesn't matter because these things are both campaigns are added to these. All right. So
Okay,
when they click a review link, we remove them from the campaigns. If they leave a negative feedback, then we make sure we email our client to let them know that somebody's complained about them. All right.
got it.
Makes sense so far?
I'm with you. I'm
Okay.
getting curious as you go.
Now, I will tell you that this could seem a little confusing if you're new, and so and so just take a deep breath. It's all right. Like it'll all work out. I promise.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry. I think what our goal is to clarify and simplify this whole experience as you build a business. What is the stopping point? Like, when do you stop a trial? Like, how many reviews are you like aiming for? Is it like 10 reviews and you stop, or is it like let's get their point system from 3.8 to like 4.5 or something? Like, what's the currency that you're looking at to stop and go into like a deeper paid relationship, retainer
I
wise?
mean, I'm going 3 to 5 reviews, and I'm hitting them back.
Ah, okay. So You can potentially call them back the same week and close the upsell.
Oh, absolutely. The longer a
Okay.
trial drags out, the harder it is to close.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they just start
Okay.
getting used to free work and they're just like, oh, yeah, you know. I mean, you just
Okay.
plus you want to brag, right? Let's brag about this. Hey, you've been paying marketing companies. You said you've been burned. Well, I set something up in a day, and I got you five new star, five-star reviews, which is like, and then they're excited. They're like, "Oh my god, thank God that 2-star review is like farther down on the page." Well, let's keep going, right? That's the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we just to have like a quick moment for us to remember what James just said just now? Can we have everyone in the chat type in money loves
Speed.
speed?
Yeah.
Money loves speed. Can I have, if you're serious about learning this and implementing this, can we have that in the chat? Just type that down. Money loves speed. So, what we're saying is instead of waiting like a 14-day trial or a 30-day trial, get away from that mentality and just go result based as
Yes.
fast as you can. And I wouldn't say call them back the same day because that may feel like it's a trick. That may feel a little unauthentic, but I would say if you can close them the next day with the better deal, do it instead
Yeah,
of
like
30
2
days.
days, 3 days. You also don't you also don't want them to feel like you barely worked, right? I mean, look, you wanna show you got a little sweat on your brow.
Yeah, money loves speed, y'all. Money loves speed. It's something, it's a life lesson. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Okay, so this is our workflows. This is our where all the automations are happening. But there's a lot more stuff that's going on. All right.
Okay.
So let's see. Let me get my checklist. All right. So now we're gonna look in the forms because you guys
Yeah.
need to see the form under sites, form. We'll go to
And
the
this is
builder.
all built inside the snapshot that you're providing. So you don't have to build any of this from scratch. Just FYI,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
It's
no.
all.
Everything I'm showing you, you guys are getting in the snapshot.
Yeah.
All right. So review management forms. So this is star and gate form. So this is what it would look like in your settings. All right, editing it. You don't touch anything. And what we're gonna do is let's preview it.
Yeah. Can we walk through the form real quick?
Yeah. So again, I keep it bland so then you guys could beautify it. Somebody has a logo they want to put on it, what it might be. Um, then you could just upload a logo. But if I choose 3 stars, this is where the form now pops, right? And then I would fill this out and hit submit, right? So this is somebody who's pissed. Got it?
Gotcha.
Okay. Then if I do, if I choose 5 stars, then I'll have the opportunity to then click. It's just going to go to Google now because I don't have a link in there. It'll go right here to Google. Actually, maybe I do have a link in there to AE Electric. So it would go right here to Google. So now I would just type in a review. All right.
Got it.
I mean, it's that simple. There's just a lot of stuff with the stars and stuff that's going on in the background. That's what all these scripts are. But again, this will be in the snapshot as is. Okay. And that's it. So that's the form. Now, before I leave this, I'm gonna go here and grab. I'm gonna hit integrate and I'm gonna hit share. And this is we need this link here. So this is the direct link to the form. So if I just pasted it in here, we would go directly to the form. Okay, makes sense.
Okay.
All right, let's close this. All right, so now if I look on my checklist, you guys will all have. I'm gonna say, all right, now it says we need to go to custom values. So I have to refresh this because it always makes my settings disappear on the bottom. There it is. So I go down to settings and I go to custom values, and it's plain as day what is needed for my reviews. Okay. So again, this will all be there, except for you'll have no values because it's pointless for you to have my values. So essentially, all you want to do is, I wanted to fill this out before because I didn't want to waste time doing it. But if you go to edit custom value, you just put the name of your client. All right. I just put AE Plumbing as an example. I'm doing a
And for the new people, real quick, what is custom values as a definition? What's the point of this like feature?
Yeah. So a custom value is, it gives the ability to be able to use one of these keys anywhere. It could be on a website. It could be like this key right here. It could be in an email. It could be in a
Bottom of a website,
yeah,
yeah.
bottom of a website, trigger links. Uh, Essentially, what it'll if this is in, let's say, a website or a form, it'll pull this value. Make sense? So anytime you use these, it'll pull whatever your value is of that. So the contest prize, we're doing Amazon gift card, the location name, AE Plumbing. Now, here is where we have to get clients where they leave their reviews. So if I went to Facebook, AE Electric, there's a tab that says reviews. So I would just use that link. Okay. Over here is something called a review fallback location. Kind of doesn't matter. I just put Google. Essentially, what it's saying is that if you're going to automate, if you want to, it's not set up this way, but if somebody's logged into Facebook or Google, we can essentially say, hey, I rather them leave it on Google, right? That's my priority. I don't want Facebook to be a review. But I want to use it in the form as a link on the bottom, because maybe somebody will also leave a Facebook review. So we're just kind of giving them two choices. But our main choice is Google. Like that button that we showed, leave a review on Google, that's our fallback location.
Got it. And Google meaning like Google My Business
Google
Profile.
My Business Profile. Yeah.
Yep, got it.
This link here is a Google review link. Okay. So if I click this is a client of mine, AE Electric. All right. It'll again bring me right to here. Okay. So that is the, well, that's why I went there, because I had it set up in here. And so that is our fallback. It's our, basically we're saying our main area we want our businesses, customers to leave reviews is Google. So you put it in both spots. That's it. Simple as that. Just follow what I'm doing. Okay.
Yep.
Now, review reactivation form, review request form, and SMS negative review form. All three of these are the exact same link. It's that link that I grabbed from the form area. All right. This one.
Sweet. That's awesome. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have all of our custom values set. All right. Now I look here, and on the checklist, you can see on the bottom, it doesn't really matter. I have listed all the custom values that you need to fill in one by one. All right.
Yeah,
Now
yeah, and that what you just held up is in the course in the under products.
it's there. Yeah.
Okay,
There's
gotcha.
a link
Cool,
for it.
cool.
Okay. So we looked at sites. I mean, we looked at forms. We looked at automations. And now we got to do the trigger links right here. So here's our links. Now, what is a trigger link? A trigger link is something, let's say you put a trigger link in an email. It allows you to track, essentially. It allows you to use automation. So if somebody clicks a trigger link, we can use an automation that says, hey, if somebody clicks this trigger link, remove them or move them or add them to here. We can move them around in our automations based on the click of that trigger link. That's why we're using it. All right.
Hmm. So well, I'm not as smart as a lot of you in here. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So, James,
Yep.
when from my client standpoint, let's say I'm working with ABC Roofing,
Yep.
I have a client that walked in, they bought my services, I send them my review request, they filled out the reviews, and it's now on Google.
Hmm.
At this point, how does TriggerLink come into play?
So the trigger link comes into play when they click the link in the automations
Okay.
right here. Oh no. Whoops. Review management. Right here. Review link clicked. You'll see here. reactivation review link.
Okay, gotcha. And what does that actually start? Like, what does it do? Does it take
All
me
it
off
does
of
is
the?
remove them from the campaigns. That's
Okay,
it.
so you're basically removing them from the campaign, so you're not repeatedly asking them for the same thing that they've already done.
Correct. That is right.
Phew.
Yep. That's all
Okay,
we're
got
using the trigger links for.
it. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. Okay.
That's
Okay.
all we're using it for. So
Okay. Let's keep going.
so if I go over to my trigger links, you'll see here that we're actually linking to a custom value. So we don't have to do anything. The way this is set up, I have it set up where once you fill out the custom values and maybe you edit some of the emails and stuff like that, you're basically done. Like there's nothing else that you have to do. It's ready to go, except getting a list
Wow.
and uploading it.
Wow.
So this is all linked, so that everything's set up. It's like we're basically done with this. All right. The only thing really that we should do is test. And I have here on the thing that you got to test, 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 and test, because the last thing you want to do is piss off your client's customers, right?
Yeah.
So the best way to test this is, and I don't have a phone number or email set up in here, but we'll see the failures in the conversation. But I'm just going to add a. Did I add? Oh yeah, I already added. Look at this. I'm all ahead of you. I already added a test contact, but here, let's just start again. So to add a test, I would hit. I'll just put my info in. James Test Bond. We'll call it 007 because my whole life that's what everybody says.
James Bond. Yes. It just worked. It just worked.
Yeah. I'll put in a test email. I'll put another one in. All right. And then we're just going to save it. All right. So this is just an email. Now, do you guys remember what starts this? You remember what tag starts it?
When the trigger link, what starts a trigger link, or
Yeah.
you're
What?
talking about the
No.
reactivation review tag.
Yeah. The reactivation review tag.
Got it. Okay.
So this should start the automation. And there it goes. It
Got it.
just popped. Right. So that would be the email that pops up. And so if I go over to automations, you'll see that I'm enrolled inside the first campaign. Right. And then it'll show that I'm sitting here. So an SMS went out, an email went out, and they'll wait one more day, as long as I don't click anything in the automation.
Got it.
Got it? Now, that's basically the setup of this. But what I want to do now is I'm going to go. So if I wanted AI to respond automatically to the reviews, okay. Now, me personally, I charge more to click one button to turn this on for reviews AI. Some people package it where they talk, like when they are pitching this service to customers, they'll just say, "Hey, it's $6.97," and you'll also not even have to reply to your own reviews. Business owners absolutely love this. It's super helpful for them, and they actually most of the time don't even believe how that's possible. And so I want to use AI to, when somebody leaves a review, that my client doesn't have to go in there and respond. All right. And we're going to use AI to do that. Now, I went and asked ChatGPT, I said, if I wanted to set up an N8N workflow to automatically respond to a business owner's reviews, what would it look like?
Yeah.
And this is the spit back that it gave me.
Yeah. Before we go through it, just to clarify something,
Yeah.
what is the chart like? So this is in the free trial or paid trial phase. You're just getting the foot in the door of this small business owner. You've set up the reviews campaign. Now you're saying, hey, I have a review agent experience. Do you want our team to handle fielding all these reviews or set up a system that replies to all of them? Help me financially at this point. What's the pricing difference, or what's the up? Is this an upsell now, or is it still part of the original foot in
You
the
know,
door offer? Or
it's funny. Like you can anytime like you try to stay in a box of like, this is what I charge and then I'm going to upsell another $200 to get automatic reviews. You kind of like box yourself in. Like it's a conversation and you see how they feel about it. If I feel like somebody is like doesn't see, if I'm mentioning it and doesn't really see value in it, be like, no, my secretaries are the one that's always responding. I'm not going to even mention it. You know what I mean? But if I feel like they are like, again, remember yesterday I said, if I'm getting them a lot more reviews, I'm creating another problem. And so ultimately I want to create that problem within the, within the trial. So if I get 5 reviews, all right, let's give a tangible example. If I have a trial client and I got them 5 reviews in a few days, and before I get on the phone with them, I'm going to see if they responded to those reviews. That is going to be the first thing I'm going to do. Is then I'm going to say, hey, I got you 5 reviews. You haven't responded. So do you need help with that? Why haven't you responded? A lot of times they don't even realize that somebody left a review. They're not, they're not getting notified. They don't even know. And so that's when I'll say, look, within my package, we could also we can have AI respond to it, or sometimes you don't even have to tell them it's AI. We can respond to them in a professional manner, and I'll just in my head increase the price by $100 or $200. That's it.
So it reminds me to go back to what you said at the beginning of the workshop event. You said, my goal is to solve problems, to now expose new problems to solve, and continue solving bigger and bigger problems as a relationship grows.
Yes, gradually, 100%. Yep. Again, I mean ultimately that's how you start adding more services to your clients. Is that you're just solving more problems, creating more reviews. They don't have time to answer the reviews, so now I'm going to hook up AI reviews using Go High Level. Would be one of them. And then we can go on and on about what kind of problem, what anytime their business grows, they see new problems, and that goes for everybody, you know?
Yeah. Let's go through the workflow setup on N8N or
Oh
wherever
yeah.
you have
So,
it.
so,
Yeah.
and again, I just wanted to just hammer home why Go High Level is really the only thing you ever need. By the way, if anybody doesn't know, N8N is just like a very fancy, uh, almost like not a Zapier or a Make, but it like if this happens, do this type thing, right? I guess it's kind of like Zapier. So it's a way to like automate tasks. You could have different agents, a lot of different agents. I didn't even understand. You needed to like know and understand JSON, which I was like, what are you talking about? I remember trying to use it. I had no idea what the heck he was talking about. Um, and so I was like, what would like? What would I have to do? And it literally spits me out. And this is for a simple automation to automatically respond to a business owner's reviews. And look at this thing. I gotta know what nodes mean, auth to creds. Like, what is the HTTP request node? Then it starts talking about OpenAI prompts nodes and tiny importable start. Oh, there's your JSON. I can't, yeah. And anyway, it's like 3 pages of stuff. And then it says like, hey, we could build templates, fallbacks if AI fails. Like, why would it fail? Like, what's going on here? Anyway, so I wanted to show you in high level, if I want AI to automatically reply to reviews, I simply just go to reputation. I go to settings, and I literally, it would have been off. I literally just do auto responses. By the way, all my clients, I just have legacy reviews AI. I don't even change it. You go to edit. I take the whatever was in here already from directly in there. Maybe I want to sound more professional. I click that. Review sources, we could do both Facebook and Google. Now, I didn't go through this, but in the integrations, you could integrate your client's Google business profile and their Facebook page. All right. Let's say because I have a client that wants to personally reply to 1 and 2 stars. So I usually only ever do 3 stars and above and save. And now, anytime when it's integrated, anytime that they leave a review, AI will automatically reply to that. Not this jargon. 3 clicks of a button, and that now you have another service that you're pitching a client.
I love it. You know what's funny is you said something earlier, which was as marketers and automation specialists and AI people, often we think that if we add more steps into the system, it's more smarter, or we feel like we're providing a bigger value to the customer base. When often the simple business, solutions is all they're looking for. Whether it doesn't matter whether it's one click or 10,000 clicks, they just want the end result.
Yep. Yeah, they don't wanna know what you do. They just wanna see what you what you said you were gonna do is done, basically. All
And
right?
you can customize this over time. Remember, if you're working with 10 roofing companies, now you know a rhythm of information in how reviews are handled, how insights are provided across 10 different businesses. So you can say, "Hey, this is the owner of the business, James Bond. Thanks for leaving us a review."
Yeah.
It make it very personal. So even though it's all systematic.
Yeah, exactly. And this goes to about the whole, prospecting and niching down and things like that. Again, I think eventually niching down is good, but I think in the beginning you just take what you can get, and that's your learning curve, and make some money while you're doing it, right? I one time had 19 19 clients in 19 different niches. I'm not even joking.
That's
That's
the
why we
best way
have
to
multiple.
learn.
Yeah, and so and we hated working with a lot of them, and so what we did was we ended up getting into we were like really heavy in two niches, which was pain management, mortgage loan. Actually, it was three: mortgage loan officers and PI lawyers were our three main ones. They just paid a lot of money, and we're like, we didn't want to say goodbye to them, and so all we do is duplicate everything. So when you're down to a one or two or three niches, now you know, and you're selling the same thing, and you're just duplicating it over and over again.
I love it. Quick question for you. The sales scripting component. So let's say I have 5 reviews that came in. I am ready to call this business owner back and upsell them. What does that conversation feel like? What is your approach on that? Just to transition them over into an upsell.
Yeah, let me pull it up. How about we do that?
You get
So,
what I'm saying? Where I'm just like, okay, I got the result. Now, how do I convert that over into a bigger play?
yep. I want to bring up my CQI scripts, because a lot of times I could just go off the cuff. Where's my reputation management? Here we go. I'll pull it over in just a second.
Yeah. And by the way, like it's not easy to run 19 industries in one. Unless you pick a certain size, like they're all local businesses that have similar problems, like you could niche down from sizing instead of working with a bunch of corporate brands. But
Yeah,
over time, I'm a big fan of picking 3 or 4 niches, knowing going back, if I can go back in time, that's what I would do.
yeah,
Pick 2 or 3 niches, that because I had a dental agency, it was all in dentists, and COVID wiped me out, that's for sure.
yeah,
But if
yeah,
if I had med spas, if I had chiros, if I had naturopathic medicine as well, like I would have had a bigger pool to play with when, times got tough. Like, but somehow ended up getting into the world of starting a software company instead. But going back to the agency days, that's what I would do, is have 3 or 4 different industries instead of just one, but in
yes,
the same complementary lane.
correct. Not like completely different. Yeah, I mean we had a kind of completely different, but I agree. Eventually, if you can get rid of, if you have enough clients in one niche, then you should just start prospecting only in that niche.
Yep, love it. Okay, so what are we looking at here
So
on
yeah,
that
so yes,
transition?
so the transition essentially is we're going to use trial results to help sell them onto a retainer. Okay. And so ultimately, what do we say? 5 reviews, right? So how many reviews did the customer or did the client have before trial? 15, right? Now they have 20. and their Google rating went from 4.2 to 4.6. Then essentially we need to know, like, all right, what are we going to pitch them? So let's say we're just going to pitch them regular reputation management at $397. And guys, you'll be able to get access to this where you can like play around with this kind of stuff soon at some point. And then if I have a downsell, so I would actually say reputation management, just so you see how I would set it up, and AI review response, right?
Yeah, this is your sales tool that you built, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know some people today might have been their first day.
Oh, right. Yeah. So go back and watch day one when you're done here. It'll make sense to you. And then maybe my downsell is just regular. And then I don't want to add downsell too. So we'll just say we're going to try to get them on a reputation management AI review response, 597, just regular reputation management. Change that to 297 because that's what I do. And so I'll just use this post-trial script, okay? And I'm not going to necessarily read through it, but essentially I'm trying to get them on a retainer. It's like anything. It's trying to show them that you have the review, that you have the result, and do they want to continue? Do they want to continue getting the same results, but for a long
Yeah.
period of time?
Yeah. And there's a big difference between a retainer and a subscription.
Yes.
We can talk about that if we want to, but I want to keep you focused here. So you're you are gathering the results. It feels like you're putting together like a report almost, but you're putting together a script between you and the prospect that you already talked about.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's keep
And then
going.
we're just trying to close them. All
Okay.
right.
So
So
at this point, are you on a Zoom call? Are you on a phone call? Are you in person?
that
Like,
could
what
be
is the?
any of the three. If I'm in person, I obviously can't use the web app tool for the sales process.
Okay.
But honestly, guys, like it's hey, you wanted me to do that, or I said I could do this. You trust me to do it. I did it. Do you want to continue? Do you want these results to continue? Yes or no? Do you want to get 50 reviews and pass your um, competitors? Do you want to make sure that every new customer is at least being asked to leave a review? Like, do you want these systems set up essentially so you can forget it? Like, just set it and forget it type thing.
This is a lot easier of a sales versus cold.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, look, I have seen people cold call their way to $1 million agencies. It's just I've seen it. They're making 100 cold calls a day, 150 a day, and they're just pounding the phones. I mean, some people could do it. Stockbrokers do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they do it. They get people to invest thousands of dollars over the phone. And so, you got to just kind of almost pick your poison, I have to say.
Love
Talk
it. Okay, let's keep
all the
going.
time.
I know we got a ton of things to cover, so let's keep going.
All right. So that's the setup. That's how you add sprinkle a little AI to it. I do want to throw a little bit of wrench in here because that's what I tend to do. If you grab a trial, right? You grab the snapshot, grab the trial, you use my link or upgrade under my link. I will show you how you can take this, how to turn this, because it's going to take me too long to go through this. Using AI, how to take this looking form and transform it into this. Okay, that's my carrot, my bait for you guys. So, so this is what we're running now, which is a big upgrade from just the plain old form. And by the way, it doesn't matter. Like this works too. Like you're asking them to leave a review. The customer knows the business owner, but I'm like a fancy kind of guy. So it works the exact same way. They click 4 stars and then it just links to their Google business profile where they can leave a review. Works the exact same way. If they click 2 stars, this is a cool thing too. A lot of times, sometimes people accidentally do it, right? So we kind of hit them with did you mean to rate us poorly? You rated us 2 stars. If this was on accident, you could change your rating below. They could change it here. Or if, again, they're pissed, they could leave it. And then down here, nice and small, prefer to share it publicly, and they can just click this little link. Most do not. All right, so we'll use a little bit of AI to transform this form. That'll be my little bonus to those who actually use my link. If you're already a Go High Level user and you can't upgrade and you're stuck at the top, I'm giving you a bunch of stuff too. Don't worry. All right. So we're back to the presentation. So let's start here. Let's go to slideshow.
Give us a one in the chat if that walkthrough was insightful for you. Were you able to get some golden nuggets out of it? I know I slowed James down a couple of times and reiterated some points, especially considering some folks. I'm seeing a lot of new names today, so that's another reason why I'm doing that. But if that was helpful, if the walkthrough was helpful, let us know. Give us a yes in the chat if that was helpful. Okay, cool.
All right. So we walk through this. I do this every time. I'm on this screen and then I close the share link. Okay.
There we go.
All right. So now we're going to talk about you got them on the trial. Maybe they're they're a $297 client, let's say, right? Now we're going to upsell them. Okay. Upselling doesn't have to happen in a month. It doesn't have to happen in 3 months, whatever it is. I have an automation that we'll go through in just a minute that basically keeps the client. We're trying to get back on the phone with them, essentially to tell them that, oh, by the way, we also can do X, Y, and Z. And so I'll show you that in a few minutes. But why does it work? Why does upselling work? Well, it just does. They know, like, and trust you. They know that you have delivered on a trial. And even if you didn't start with a trial, you just got them on, like, say, a rep management, you've gotten them reviews. They know that what you've promised, you've delivered. Okay. And like Paulson said yesterday, you're almost their doctor. You've become their business doctor. And so eventually, anytime they feel like they need a checkup, they're going to just give you a ring. And that is always opportunities for upselling. So if you look at instead of just saying that this is theory, enterprise and SaaS like Salesforce, they give you a free trial of the CRM, and then they upsell you into enterprise licenses, add-ons, and integration. So literally, they start free and end up paying $10,000 to $100,000 a year. That's how their business works, right? Amazon Web Services, free tier. They give you certain hours in storage. They upsell you to enterprise also. Startups, 10K to 50, 500,000. You see where I'm going with this, right? The biggest companies in the world all do this. Coaching and education. Tony Robbins' free YouTube videos, $20 books, $1,000 to $10,000 seminars. This is actually something I didn't know. Udemy. I didn't realize that companies spend $50,000 to $200,000 a year for staff training on Udemy. I never knew that.
There's another one like that. I think it was
Coursera, it says.
Systemi
Oh,
or
Systemi?
something.
Yeah.
That's another one like that. But yeah, I mean, they have a certain budget that they are required to spend to prove that they're educating their
Yeah.
internal teams. Like that's just part of the sauce. They don't
Yep.
have a choice. They have to spend it somewhere.
It's awesome. So anyway, so this is why it works. It's so much easier to sell. So now if you look at what my current value ladder kind of is, and it goes in order, but in some sense, once I get past the rep management, I kind of I'll pitch them what I think they need. And so I start with a free trial rep management, and then they start on a retainer ongoing rep management. A lot of times, because now I'm getting the lists, it's so easy to now add database reactivation because I already have the list. That's why we do rep management first. Okay. You could definitely do message marketing first, or those of you who don't know what that is, it's database reactivation. And then you could roll into rep management. I'm getting the lists. I'm already doing it. So now if I'm getting the list and asking reviews, why can I now tell them that I'm doing 20% off a new panel upgrade or something, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
And now I've built a relationship with them. I'm doing 1 or 2 services with them. Why not say, look, have you ever thought about pay-per-click advertising? Yeah, I've always wanted to. Now you're just having conversations. Hey, I noticed that your Google business profile doesn't show up when somebody searches electrician near me. Do you know why? No, I want to do that. So now you're essentially you guys got to remember this. Nobody here has 150 clients probably, right? Watching this. You wouldn't be watching this if you did. Maybe you would be, I don't know. Um, and so your clients could be personal friend, like become your friends. And so these conversations, you don't have to be a salesperson anymore. It's literally conversations. And what ends up happening is like they'll call you and be like, "Yo, what do you got for me? I hear all this AI stuff. What how do I that's what my electrician said to me. He called me. He's like, I know you're in the marketing world. Should I be doing any AI stuff? I'm like, yeah, you should be. Let's talk. Right. And so essentially, that's these beginning trial clients and maybe one service clients are conversations on how to add more services.
Yeah. It takes me back to the old days when I had my agency. Um, an ascension model like what James is describing allow you to qualify the customer. And most agencies qualify themselves with the customer. Like you're delivering results, therefore now I should upsell.
Yeah.
Well, there's another side to it. Let's just assume you're delivering results for everybody. Can you handpick the type of customers? Because some customers are not worth the headache and the hassle because they have certain habits or they have a certain like style of, like I remember walking into offices and you're like, bro, like no one is talking to each other in this break room and they're all having lunch, they're all super quiet. You can tell the culture is off. Even though I'm
Yeah.
delivering results from a legion standpoint, they just don't genuinely flow with each other internally in this business. So yeah,
Yeah.
you'll pick up some cultural things. There is like, spirituality in business as well. Like what do they stand for in the community? These are stuff that you kind of pay attention to and figure out, okay, I want to fly with the Eagles. Like I know the performers. I know the positive folks that have a certain ethics and stuff like that because you'll get to a point where everybody gets results pretty often, and that does not become a good currency to now measure whether
Yeah.
you're going to do a relationship with them or not. Does that help? Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't have any clients that I'm not personally tied to. Meaning like I don't I'm always in contact with them. Even if some of them are once a month, some of them I go grab a beer with. Well, I don't drink beer, but a tequila with. um and I'm always, they're in my, my contact list on my phone is the best way to put it.
Love it.
So again, the biggest thing is, and you see this, I mean, like, you see this all over the place. I don't know what to offer. Should I say 10 10 new clients or I give you your money back, right? You see all these guarantees and all this stuff. It's none of it's needed. Because you're you're doing it for free in the beginning. Like eliminate the noise, eliminate the $100 million offer books from Alex Hormozy, not in a sense of it doesn't pertain to you, but if you just literally just start off with a free try, like a result based trial, they get a few reviews, start with a simple service like rep management or even message marketing. If you're talking to somebody and they're like, I'm not giving you a list of customers, hang up the phone and go to the next person. Like you're not going to hit a home run with everybody. You will get way more no's than you get yeses. That is part of the game. That's part of this business. But it becomes a game and it's fun if you keep doing it. So your offer should be free trial, rep management, or message marketing. Keep it simple. So the offer is trials and rep management as the mechanism in the service. And so essentially our value ladder would look like this in some sense. And again, these are things that are in the snapshot. That's why like, if you're doing lead gen as an upsell, I have some funnels that are free that'll be in that snapshot. And then if you want to offer some AI services, I do have a Go High Level AI training and then an AI, we call it website arbitrage, which works really, really well. Not going to talk about that today. But all we do is package it. We package them in there. So let's say I'm offering rep management and message marketing for $597 a month and they want SEO. Well, I'll just bump them up $1,000 a month or $800 a month, depending on what, if they're a PI
Yeah,
lawyer.
traditional marketing agency services, like you shouldn't be below $1,000 on average.
Yeah.
You're asking for trouble if it's below that because as soon as you don't deliver and you need to bring in a contractor, you're not going to have enough margin.
Yeah, you're not gonna
So
have
one of
more.
the yeah, one of the first things I learned is charge 3,500 a month for a dentist. Well, everybody was charging 500 a month, and I was outsourcing the heck out of everything and allowed me to scale. You
Yep,
know, so um,
exactly.
keep going. So ongoing rep management. So the free trial, let's just say that's like 3 4 days long or 5 days max. Pretty short window. Then you move them to a $600 a month, basically ongoing rep management. Then how much you charge for message marketing? I assume that's the AI fielding of the reviews. What do you mean by message marketing, or
Message
is that
marketing,
database
database
reactivation?
reactivation. Yeah.
Okay, what do you charge for that?
It depends on the niche. It depends on the industry. It could be 397. I'm gonna bring this up and show you.
Okay.
I have to get out of my. There we go. So I have a. This is also included in that thing. So to make it.
Sweet. Can you go to view 144 percentage?
Oh,
Yeah,
like
perfect.
that.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
So I give suggested pricing based on clients have now or have had in the past. So keeping it simple, like message marketing or rep management would be 297. So if it's both, you would double it. If I'm doing lead gen, and again, and I'll show you, like lead gen 997 was like Facebook ads or PPC, SEO another 897. And if I package them, I would probably do like for like 1,500 a month because
Got it.
we
And
want to
this
give them
is
a price break, right? So
this is
um,
month this is monthly, right?
yeah, this is per month, but like if I'm in like in these tiers, like mortgages, pain management, personal injury lawyers, I'm going way higher. I'm doing like a personal injury lawyer doesn't need rep management, doesn't need message marketing, right? So it would be like you could add rep management maybe, but a lot of these PI lawyers, um, they just don't care about it. I don't know why. I've
Yeah.
failed a million times when it came to PI, so that's why I put an NA. But like lead gen 1,500 SEO, and by the way, you may charge this and be like, man, this guy would have paid 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, right? Like sometimes you could just throw a number out there and be like, oh man, that's cheap. So you got to be careful by sitting in a box. But I know people like things to follow, so I put this together for people. Um, and
Yeah.
so
It
essentially,
it,
this is
it reminds me of one of the craziest experiences I had um working with another agency, and we had a big conference in California that reached out to us to rebuild their logos. And I'm
uh,
thinking, okay, logos are like, okay, come on. Like you can't I don't care what you say, but more than a couple of $100 on a logo is insane to me in my head. The quote that so we were like in the middle of negotiations with them. They're like a big conference, and the quotes we asked them to show us the quotes of what you have for branding. Dude, they were dealing with like 25 to $30,000 quotes for a
oh yeah.
logo for a logo.
Cracker Barrel spent 1.1 million.
All right. This is reality, right? So perception is what you really have to focus on when it comes to these sales things. But yeah, that was the most eye-opening experience I had as an agency person. So message marketing is like database reactivation. You're charging an extra 1,000, lead generation 1,000, SEO maybe another 700 to 1,000. Now AI website arbitrage. When I talk to some of the other big players in the community, like Pavel, for example, Pavel Ketsak, he uses AI website arbitrage as a setup. Like he'll charge a one-time setup that
Yeah.
includes a website. Well, how do you? I know this is not a website workshop,
Yeah.
but walk us through that real quick
Yeah,
on
I
your
mean,
offering.
that training is like how to use Go High Level could also whip up template sites, right?
Yeah,
And where you could use it as kind of the foot in the door too. So it would be like you're getting in on a website redesign or a rebuild, and then we're going right into our value ladders. Like, all right, well, just because you build a website doesn't mean that it's going to get traffic and all these things. Yeah, I mean, I just sold uh, 2 websites. It took me like 30 minutes to build 2 websites for $2,000 a piece. I don't get mad at my money. I mean, if somebody wants me to build a site, I'll do it. I could have probably charged 4 or 5,000, but he was a long time client, so I didn't want to do that. Um, but yeah, with AI and Go High Level has that the AI build feature as well. You could sell websites like crazy. I mean, you could like if that's all you did, you could make 10,000, 15,000 a month.
Yeah. So let's keep going. I know there's a lot to do and go through, and we got giveaways and all kinds of
Yeah, yeah.
shenanigans. We got shenanigans.
So if you remember our in the beginning, I started off with this, right? This is what our the process, the blueprint looks like. And every step of the way, you have a script to use, whether you're qualifying them with discovery questions or you're now trying to get them on a trial, and now you need to onboard them. I showed you yesterday that you could use that web app when it's ready. And then we got to close them on a retainer, blah blah blah, right? Well, the probably I don't want to say the most important piece, right? Because every piece is important. Is like, do you know how to? If you never want to prospect again, all right? Because I never have to prospect. If I could just go back to a happy client and say, hey, do you know anybody else that could use AI reviews, or do you know anybody else that wants to also implement? Do you know any business owners, right? So how do we go back to happy clients and then we could just repeat this process? So if a client gives us a referral, we get them on the phone and just do another qualification interview, see what they need, and pitch them what where their pain points are, and we just repeat the process over and over again. Obviously, in the beginning, you don't have any clients, so that's the hardest part is the beginning. Why does it makes? Oh no, I went through this already. Okay, so let me give away a coaching before I get into the referral.
All right, let's get ready to rumble. So I think somebody else just said, "Is it time for a giveaway?" I don't know who that was, but
Oh, really?
what are the giveaways? I know there's a lot of people in here that wasn't here yesterday. This
Okay,
is kind of fun. This is kind of a James thing, like James Bond, right? Like this
that's
is
right.
not we
Stealth.
don't do a lot of giveaways.
Yeah. Um. So coaching. So I have a coaching program. And I've had it since 2017. We've had a lot of success with it. People love it. And so it's basically how to start an agency. A lot of the stuff I'm talking about over the last 2 days, obviously we go in depth on every single step of it. It's not for everybody, but it's for some people. And so I'm going to give it away. I'm going to give, I think, 2 more spots of this. And then at the very end, hopefully I don't forget, because I don't know if I have a slide for it. I'm going to give away a mentorship where I'm going to connect you with one of our mentors that have been with us for 5 years or more. They run a 6 or 7 figure agency, and they now do one-on-one mentoring where they sit with you for 8 weeks, one-on-one, and about 77% of people so far who have, and there's been about 500 people who've gone through this, have landed their first client in the first 8 weeks. So that is the goal. All right,
Yeah.
so I'll give one of those away.
Okay, awesome. So, um, real quick, if you don't mind, put something in the chat and James will pick someone out of it. I don't want to be, biased in any way, shape, or form or pick the wrong person. But if you don't mind, tell us that you're ready. Type in the word ready in the chat and let's go
Yeah.
through it. James, if you don't mind picking somebody, we'll get back to the teaching.
Yeah, and what I'll do is, just so you guys, I do this every Wednesday when we give like swag away on our coaching calls. I just scroll and close my eyes, and whoever it lands on the comments, whoever it lands on is gonna win.
All
All
right,
right.
let's. I don't see enough comments yet. Let's see. Everyone say ready in the comments. I got
Oh,
my
here we
phone
go.
here. Okay, there it is. Yeah.
We're gonna break it. All right. And by the way, sometimes I'll say like, all right, put in the comments, because everybody knows what I do now. Like they know I just scroll, so everybody's trying to like put in 50 comments as fast as they can. I'm like, it's just for a hat, guys. Like, relax. It's funny how people love free. It's better than cheap, right? All right, ready? I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna scroll up, scroll down, scroll up, scroll down, and then just land.
All right, let's do it.
Victor Adu. Adu. Victor Adu. Victor
Okay.
ADU.
All right, cool. Awesome, Victor. We'll be in touch, or James's team will be in touch. I don't know if some of your team
Yeah,
members
he
are. Yeah.
uh just to email me. I'll have my email up at the end, so you got to
Cool.
stay through.
Cool. And those of you, in case if you're just watching from far and just kind of on the fence, if there's a QR code on the screen. If you click that, it'll allow you to jump into a free trial for high level. And if you are using that link to jump into the free trial, you will get a ton of bonuses from James directly. That's part of a lot of his coaching. If you're a high level customer already, don't worry, you'll get all those things anyway. So don't worry, we'll make sure you're all taken care of. So let's get back into the mojo here.
All right. All right. So referrals. This is this is the most underutilized. I mean, it's not even a tactic. To me, it's like common sense. But it just nobody does. I don't know why nobody does this. And I actually learned this very early in my life. Again, I tell you guys and always say I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I swear, I'm really not. And I happen to pick up certain like things that before I even started an agency. For example, I was like, I don't know if anybody has heard this, but I was in the whole Primerica world of MLMs. Like I was like in college, I was like really into it. Brought in like 40 something people. Um, which by the way, I didn't make any money, which is kind of funny, right? Like that's the whole problem with MLMs is you could recruit 50 people, but when they're all college kids, nobody does anything. And and my father's best friend was a life insurance salesman, still is like a big one. Like he's writing policies for CEOs. And so when he heard that I was like in the life insurance game, uh, I sat with him one time at dinner, and he's like, "Listen," he goes, "if you want to really be in selling life insurance and make a lot of money, I mean, the guy's made millions and millions of dollars. He's like, you got to get out of this Primerica stuff. Just come work for me." And so I actually didn't take him up on that offer. But one of the things I learned from him was when you're sitting, you're writing a policy for somebody. His biggest thing was he was not going to get up off of that chair until he got three names. Right? He was not going to leave. And by the way, I don't know if anybody has ever sat with a life insurance salesman. You want them out of your house as humanly possible because you just literally talked about you dying. What happens if your wife dies? Like, you're even talking about your kids. Like, it's like nobody wants to sit with a life insurance salesman, but you need to have it, right? And so he was very successful with like getting three names, brothers of them, sisters, or whatever. So I treat my clients as the same. All right. But I'm also not the most outgoing person. And so sometimes there's certain clients I kind of still haven't built that relationship with yet. So I have an automation that will automatically ask for referrals the minute somebody becomes a client. Okay. And so just to throw some data into this, 78% of B2B marketers say that referral programs generate good or excellent leads. 60% of marketers say that referral programs generate a high volume of leads, yada, 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 right? Obviously, everybody knows referrals are the best, hottest leads that you can get. Okay. So, how do you ask clients? Very simply, when your client is excited, happy, or relieved that you solved the problem or gives you a compliment, you hit them when they're hot, right? That's when you ask. All right. So you like literally straight up ask, I'm so happy you're having a great experience with my company. Do you know anyone else who would benefit from our services the same way that you are benefiting? Reciprocity goes a long way with this. And just nobody does it. Nobody asks them because they feel like nobody's going to want to give them um, a name of somebody. But it's actually the opposite is true, especially like if you're now into this whole AI, offering AI services. Like business owners like to brag to their friends about what they're doing in their business. And so the best way to brag is to be like, hey, I'm using this guy. He's doing all this stuff. You should talk to him. Right. Like this is how it works. And so if they answer no, you can simply say, I understand. Typically, there's three ways clients help. There's typically three ways that clients help me out. One way is by clients giving me referrals, which is how I stay in business. Second, they give me a positive review online. Or three, a testimonial video with me, or all of the above. Which one do you feel most comfortable with? So if they don't want to give you a name of somebody, get them to do something. Give you a review online or a testimonial video. You understand? Like A client is not there just to pay you. It's there to grow your business, and you can grow your business by getting good reviews from clients, by them giving you 3, 4, 5 business names, or a testimonial video. Those are all assets, so you should be using your clients for that. All right, so or like shy. Nobody believes that I'm like an introvert, but I promise you guys, I am. I don't know.
After hanging out with you several times in person, I'm like, oh, he's kind of an introvert. He's it's hilarious.
Yeah, like you guys, a lot of times it's funny at the live events. Like I'll get I don't know if it was Jonah. No, it was Brittany. I think that was like, yo, she's like, get out of your room and come down here, would you? I'm like, oh god, okay. I gotta like get up to be around a lot of people. I'm not the best networker either. All right. So it basically it got I will go into Go High Level and show you this, but I want to like sometimes people get confused with how workflows look. So I just kind of show you like this. Yeah, this is so terribly done, but this is I'm not very good at like visual stuff either. So the client pays an invoice, right? They get tagged in Go High Level. They get a customer tag, which then is going to trigger the workflow. I send postcards to my clients, just simple. I think there's I can't remember the name of the company off the top of my head. Mail something where they'll just send a post.
Mail drop or something.
Yeah, I've seen them at the events all the time. I sign up at the last event, I think, where they'll send postcards on my behalf to clients, just thanking them, welcoming them. Then I'm going to drop them a voicemail drop in Go High Level. It says, "Thank you so much for becoming a client. I have a script for that. It's in the thing." And then now I'm going to wait 7 days and send them an email. And then in the email is going to say 7 days in, or the subject is going to say 7 days in, expect this from us. 10 days in, typical results our clients see. There's reasons for all of this. I'll get into it. Might not have time to go through all of these, but 14 days in, sending them an email, now linking them to the calendar, and then a text messages. And then it just keeps flowing. Okay. So let me get into Go High Level and show you that this is also in your snapshot. So referral automation, it's very simple. Our trigger is a simple customer tag. 7 days later, they get this email. Slide this down. Typically says, so in the email, I'm basically saying, hey, 7 days since we onboarded. We like to check in at 14 days to see that you're happy. This actually should be 7. So make sure you read through these, as you know, depending on our services that we provide. So in this email, I'm now saying, hey, did you know that we also do SEO? We also do paid traffic, reputation management, or package to do it all. Like, so now they're in as a customer of mine. And now I'm going to make sure that they know what I do. They know that I don't just do reputation management. And so you could edit all of this however you want. And this is just thanking them. I'm not asking them to do anything. I'm just sending them an email. And then what I want to do here is I want to share a case study with them. I'm going to say, hey, our typical clients see this. So I typically like to share results from our clients of ours. It's more of a way to solidify our future results basically with you. So you never have to worry about getting more leads and customers. A few months ago, we signed on, and then I'll give them a case study of something, right? Whether it be reviews, leads, new customers, doesn't matter. You can edit that. Why am I doing that? Typically when somebody and this goes for every industry, every business in the world, there's buyer's remorse, and it's a real thing. So I have to solidify that they made the right choice. They a week later, a week goes by, 10 days go by, they haven't heard from you yet. Maybe they're like, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I don't need this. And so every time I'm sending an email, I'm like, we better talk. We got to get back on the call. So now it's been 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And so it's been 14 days since we had a chance to jump on and go through what we've accomplished. So I'm doing it like a 2 week, you could do 3 week check-in. But what I want to do here is I want to book a call to go over the results. And now I'm going to also say on that call, I'm going to start working in my upsells. I'm going to start saying, hey, did you get my email about other services that we offer? I'm not saying, hey, do you know that we also do this? I'm going to say, hey, I've already sent you an email explaining other services. Did you get it? No, I didn't. Okay, well, I sent you an email. We also do X, Y, and Z, and we'll talk about, maybe they don't want to do it. Maybe they do, but this is how I get into the conversation. And now, like, if they haven't booked yet, I'm 16 days out, 18 days out. I'm trying to get them on a call, and I'm just like, now I'm starting to hound them.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I could pick up the phone and call them myself. And so if 30 days goes by and they're not booking a call on my calendar, I'm calling them direct, right? I love my email 7. This has the highest open rate, as you can see why. The subject is, oh my God, your website got hacked. Yeah. And then I say, don't worry, that is what we call a great subject line. And then I talk about email marketing. That's right. And so I'm like, hey, it's kind of a science. We got pretty good at it. And it's like message marketing would be also, a talk about that. So everything is kind of geared toward this. I don't want to go through all this, but
It's
I did want
almost
to
like
touch.
a newsletter.
Yeah, kind of like a
Uh-huh.
newsletter. But I wanted to talk about this. Email 9, and you could also, if they book a call earlier, you could also mention this. We pay our clients $500 cash. And so this is where the referral program comes in. So I will pay my clients, and I don't have time. If I had 3 days, I would have, but I don't have time to kind of go into the psychology of this. Essentially, I know how much my clients are worth, right? So my typical client value is high. It's like over $15,000. Okay. So if I know that every client I land is worth at least a minimum of 15,000 on average, I would be willing to pay 5,000 to make sure that I land another client, right? So in this email, I basically say, hey, I'll explain more on a call. This is how it works. Any business owner that you refer us, we will pay you $500 if they come on board with our agency. If we win, we want to reward you with some smackaroos, whatever. The way we see it when our clients are happy. So anyway, you guys see what I'm saying. So now I'm turning my clients into,
A sales force.
Salesforce, boots on the ground, capital labor, essentially. If
Yeah.
I have 10 clients, I got 10 people out there knowing, like, I guys, I cannot explain how important this is. If your clients know reciprocity, they'll refer people to you because you ask them. But if they know they can get paid, that's even more of a reason. Now you got 10, 12, 13 clients, 5 clients that are like, sure, I want to make $500, $1,000. Then this works really, really well. I turn away clients more than I accept them because I get so many inbound. And so if you hate prospecting, get to a point where you have enough inbound. So that's it. That's our automation. Simple as that. It just goes for 30 days.
Love it. Love it. And what I would recommend is for the all of you to grab this and build on top of it. Like, I agree with James. Like, I wasn't the most creative or the smartest guy on the planet, but what I always did was take someone else's recipe and make it just a little better, just a little better, 1% better, and over time it just became pretty competitive, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so looks like we got another giveaway.
Yeah. So, well, almost. I think I
Okay,
have
okay,
a,
okay.
I think, well, actually, this should have been, yeah, let's do it.
Oh,
Let's do a giveaway.
that was the other one. That was the other one we did, huh?
Yeah.
Or
Let's give a coaching away again.
okay.
So guys, just start posting, just start commenting, your favorite thing that you're learning today really quick. You could be one word. I'll give you guys 10 seconds to get your comments in there, and then I'll scroll because I'm running out of time. I can already feel it. I can feel it already that I'm running out of time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, ready? I'm going to scroll up. I'm not going to look. Scroll down, scroll up. New comments are coming in. Scroll up and stop. Seth Perez.
All right, Seth. Great job
Coaching.
there. All
So
right,
that
cool.
was my last coaching. The last thing I'll do at the end of this is give away the mentorship. That's how I keep you all here.
All right, so we got a few more things to cover just real quick,
Yeah.
and I do want to do an FAQ or like a Q
Oh
and
yeah.
A.
I'm gonna
Uh,
fly through this. There's not
okay,
much left.
cool,
Okay.
cool. I'm gonna get out of the way here.
Yeah. So essentially, like, people always ask, like, what should I charge? How do you go from two? Like, we talked about that already. But again, it's going to depend on the niche. It's going to depend on what you're offering. Like this could be higher if it's a PI lawyer. It could be lower if it's just an electrician type stuff, right? I mean, electrician. If I'm doing all of this, I'm still charging 1,500 to 2,000. Now you have your AI services. Like you can mix and match, and you don't have to offer everything. I think that's more important. I think it's important for you guys to also know, like, you can outsource things. You could outsource the SEO. I actually don't like to pitch SEO, like at all. Our agency is done with trying to rank businesses organically. Now it's how do you rank in the AI results? How do you rank your Google business profile? And it's not a difficult thing to do. And so you could get it done. We don't even think about organic results anymore. Those days are long gone, in my opinion, or they're going to be soon be gone. But anyway, my point is that you don't need to learn how to do everything all at once now. Like get good at rep management for now. I mean, it doesn't take much to get good at it at all. Get a client or two under it, and then that you start the process of upselling them and finding more rep management clients. And then the minute you have a successful, happy client, share it to the world. I will tell you this. And then you can start charging more. The more, the more results you have, the more you're worth. Is that literally you could run a Facebook ad for your agency with a case study. And if you direct it at like a one niche, like if you go for like realtors, you go for mortgage loan officers or people, the algorithm is so good that it'll start to show, like if it's an electrician that's giving the case study, it'll start to find other electricians that are watching it in its entirety. It'll start showing it to more of those. And so you like literally a case study video with you and your client on Facebook works more than anything I've ever tried. Right. And so here's what a 5-day action plan. Get my snapshot. If you are able to upgrade or grab a trial through my link, you can get into the group. I can't take everybody in my group. Like if you have Go High Level, you can't upgrade and you can't get on a trial or whatever. Sorry, guys, I can't handle 500 to 1,000 non-paying customers. It's a lot of work. I hire more people if there's a lot of people in there, but I'm still giving you all the resources, snapshots. You're still getting that if you can't upgrade or start a trial if you already have Go High Level. All right. Set up a practice rep management campaign, create an account for the CQI that I went through when it's ready, and then create some practice businesses and go through the scripts, like walk through it, like literally click, talk to it, like if you're talking to somebody, record it, watch it back. How can you get better? Day 2, try to find a BNI group or a networking group as soon as humanly possible. The first thing I did was not the first thing. The second thing I did probably, besides telling every human being that this is what I was doing, I thought I was going to be like the SEO master because that's how I started in this business. Was telling all my friends and family, every business owner that I've known, everybody that I talked to, and then I joined the BNI group. So tell everybody what you're doing. I don't care if you're going to get laughed at. My father to this day still doesn't know what I do. I've been doing this since 2014. Okay. He still doesn't understand why I quit teaching. He's like, oh, what about your pension, man? I'm like, oh, God, help me. Can't listen to this anymore. I make more. It would take me 30 years to make what I've made in the last 5 as a teacher. That's the funny part. Ask friend, and he still doesn't understand why I quit. Ask friends or family if they know any businesses. Try to get a business interested to start talking. Right, you got to get the word out there. Pick one more prospecting method. You could do cold call, cold email, anything. Upwork, freelancer. It's good to have a couple lines in the water. Set up your agency site. I also have that in my snapshot. And then for day 3 and 4, you're trying to accomplish all this. And then day 5, your goal is to set a CQI. Follow the steps that I show in my trainings. Use this CQI web app, hoping to get this into Go High Level as an app. By the way, I forgot to say that yesterday. What I showed you, I'm trying to get as an app in Go High Level to be able to use. I'm trying to build it so it could be used in Go High Level. I don't know how all that works. I haven't talked to Go High Level about it, but that would be my ultimate goal. And then offer them the rep management for free and then get them on a trial and follow the process over and over and over again. Because what is the worst that can happen? They say no. Who cares? Just keep moving on. All right, questions. We got to get to the questions. I know they're going to happen.
Awesome. So Let's do this. For those of you that have questions around what we covered yesterday and today, first things first, just a couple of housekeeping things that I want to just share with you in case if you just joined us a little late. We are just about to wrap up the second day of our event. Um, James and I did a 3 day workshop last time. I want to
Yeah.
say, I keep thinking it was only like 10 months away, but you said it's like over a year and a half away, but a
Yeah,
while
I think it's a
back.
year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, year and a half ago. Go back to our YouTube channel, Facebook group, wherever, and find that workshop as well, because there's a lot of things that we built based on that, which just naturally kind of happened as businesses kind of progress. So watch the old workshop we did with James, watch yesterday, rewatch today. Once you have the snapshot, which will be sent out to you here shortly in an email, you'll have the right links and all the resources to kind of go click by click. So what I will do is, James, if you want to stop sharing your screen,
Yeah.
we will go through Q&A. So 12:47, yeah, we got about 13, 12 minutes to finish up Q&A. So for those of you that have questions, type in the letter Q or question before you say the question so I can know which one is the actual question versus you just commenting or just sharing your thoughts. So let's see. Someone's asking, uh, Kiana is asking how to generate the sales prospecting report slash audit.
Oh, right, and go high level.
Yeah, it's a feature inside of high level. You can just
Yeah,
go
it's
into,
easy.
yeah, audit creation. You can go to audits and just generate one when you put in the address of
Yeah,
a
I think it's under
business.
prospecting.
Yeah, cool. Someone's asking what's the difference between the new and the old snapshot?
Really the only difference is, well, there's two differences. I updated the explanation of how to get the bonuses. So I want to remind everybody that you would go to membership and then products. That's in there. That was updated. I added a few things and explained it in more depth. You could upgrade. You could use an upgrade link. All that stuff is in there. And then all the automations were missing. So
Got
that's
it.
why.
So got it. Ryan's asking, is it better to offer this full suite of services for good or niche down to an expertise eventually, just like what you recommended for business niches?
As far as the service goes,
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a firm believer in just getting good at one of the services. Uh, again, you know, rep management is not that difficult. You just like literally duplicate the sub account to another client and change the wording. But yeah, I mean, there are people who go all in honestly on rep management and have like national brands that they do it for 80, 90 clients, all in go high level running reputation management. But that's not what I've done. Again, there's many ways. There's no better way, I should say. There
Yep.
might be an easier way depending on an individual. The way I've showed it over the last 2 days has been really the only way I've ever done it.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Because of time, I don't want to double down on what you're saying, but yes. Joe's asking, is this a snapshot we would import into our agency sub account and duplicate into our client sub accounts? Or would we create our client sub accounts based off of this snapshot?
Well,
We,
if you have current, yeah, I understand the question. If you have current clients and you want to run this reputation management, you can add a snapshot to that client account and then just move over that automation.
yeah. And here's what I recommend, like have a sandbox sub account that you test different things out as an
Yeah.
agent. Like that's where I would always import anything. I don't import any snapshot into live accounts until I understand every single piece of it. So for that, I would have like a separate sandbox account. Lindsay's asking, I didn't get the group thing. Where is it? Can anyone join the group? I guess she's asking about your coaching group.
Yeah, no. So I have a private group where we do like weekly Q&As. I have a bunch of trainings in there as well. It's actually not my coaching group, it's just more for go high level people who upgrade under my link. And
It's like a community that you have around high
yeah,
level.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. upgrade under my link and get a trial under my link. I pay a lot of people to go in there and go live and stuff like that, so that's kind of the bonuses that they get.
Yeah,
If you are a Go High, like I mentioned earlier, if you're a Go High Level user, you get the snapshot and a bunch of whatever's in there. There's a bunch of snapshots in there, resources and stuff like that.
got it. And someone's asking how much your coaching is, which is the next question. So maybe talk about the community pricing as well if you have something. I don't even know if you charge for that.
So I have a private community that is
Yeah.
for Go High Level, my Go High Level affiliates, and then the coaching is a completely separate thing. The
Ah,
regular,
gotcha.
yeah, Facebook group. Yeah,
Got
the
it. Okay.
coaching, you could reach out to me directly. I don't like, I don't want to talk about what the price is.
Cool. Where do we find the client qualification interview app? So that's
Yeah,
something that it's in beta right now,
yeah,
and this is the first time James showed it live.
yeah. So that will. Um, I mean, I think in the next few days I should have it ready. I could. It'll definitely be in my group. If you can't get into my group, again, just reach out to me, email me at visibilitycloud411@gmail.com, and I'll send you the link when it's ready.
Cool. Megan's asking, will this be posted on GHL YouTube? Well, we already streamed in the YouTube channel and in LinkedIn, X, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram. So yeah, we already have this footage. Like we're live right now, so it's already there for replays if you want to watch it, along with the Facebook groups for high level. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of repeats here. Let
Yeah,
me
so
go
somebody asked about the
through.
Upwork. Didn't have time to go through that, but I like in my group. If again,
Yeah,
unfortunately, you have to be use my link to get that Upwork training.
got it. Where do you find outsourcing when you want to outsource services?
I mean, you could actually use Freelancer at Upwork to hire somebody to do it. We have a few companies for like for SEO that we do. I have like a Rolodex of outsourcing companies, but
Yeah,
again, you could hire somebody. I've used Fiverr before, believe it or not. People are pretty good on that. It depends what you're asking, like what you need them to do. But there's plenty of resources out there.
got it. Casey's asking, I'm skipping some of the questions that are repeats just so we can get
Yeah, yeah,
through
yeah.
the as many as we can. Casey's asking, do you do websites for new clients? I learned not to jump into messaging too quick.
Jump into messaging. What do you
Yeah, I
mean?
think she's talking about reactivation campaigns. Is it okay to skip maybe some of those middle steps and go
Yeah,
straight to like
yeah,
a
yeah.
website? Okay,
It is 100% not in order, except for the first, because it's about getting quick wins. So you could, I have clients that I do rep management and SEO for. That's it.
got it, got it. Um,
And by the way,
look,
let me just say really quick: if the process is, um, my system will spit you out an email if if you use the QR code and started a trial, or if you upgraded, you will get an email that says, "Hey, reply to this and tell me that you did that, and I will get you into the private group." They want
cool.
me to post my email. How do I post it?
Visibility cloud 411 at
At
gmail dot
Gmail.
com.
Yeah.
So somebody, if you don't mind, just posting that in the comments. Um,
Oh, there we go.
let's see here. Someone's asking, love to learn how to apply in the EU. So do you deal with a lot of international students by chance?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
is the market different there, or like what is your overall thoughts? The pricing obviously is different.
Pricing is different. Like the students choose that. I don't give recommendations on what Europe. I'm not there, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. But Australia, we have a ton of people in Australia. Matter of fact, my business partner moved to Australia, um, and Canada, and I mean we have United Kingdom, ton of all over the world. But yeah, I don't know what pricing is.
Yeah. Harrison's asking, where do you find leads without getting a referral?
We talked about that in the beginning. Maybe you weren't here, but the leads could be cold email. You could use AI and pull leads. I mean, you could scrape data. I mean, warm market is. I'm going to always have that as an answer. I'm going to say your
Yeah.
warm market.
Yeah. Once you get to a certain level, in my opinion, you should be running paid ads for your own
Yeah, and then
agency
paid
as
ads.
an advertising agency. Like that's where a lot of people scale is paid advertising. So the goal is to break through that initial stage of like 10, 15, 20K, because it's just you, maybe one or two other people, and you have enough margin, and you take that and invest all into paid ads.
Yep.
Then you put up a sales team that fields all of that. That's kind of the flow of how a lot of agencies launch.
Yeah.
Hopefully that gives you some ideas. Let's see. Aaron's asking, why do you say organic SEO is dead? Reasons, just curious.
Because if you look at the stats, when searching for a local business, I think it's 77% don't go past the map listings. Like nobody's gonna click. They're gonna if you're searching for an electrician near me, it's all Yelp and Home Advisor and all that stuff. And the only reason why you would click on that is because I don't even know. It's only 23% of you that do it. So I'm not going to try to outrank an electrician website or a plumber or HVAC over Yelp, Angie's List, because I'm never going to be able to do it. It's impossible.
Got it. Somebody's asking, hey, where can we find more information about the high level local groups? So if you go to gohighlevel.com/events, I believe you should be able to find the open calendar that we have for all in-person events, virtual events, and everything. I know the team was going through some updating on it last 2 days actually, but we have something called high level hangouts where we basically do happy hours and hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. I mean, we just had one in New York, we
Yeah,
have them
yeah,
in San Diego, Orlando, Dallas, Houston, any main city across the U.S., including I think like Toronto, like Canada, parts of Canada as well. So yeah, just be on the lookout for it. If you haven't subscribed to like high level emails and stuff around events, that's where you'll find the most info here. Let's see, what is that email again? Visibilitycloud411 at gmail.com. Let's see here. Yeah, this is a great question. Rick is asking, would you recommend focusing on one specific industry when running paid advertising campaigns?
yeah. It's just
Um,
easier. It's easier
okay,
to not muddy the water.
cool. So we got 1 minute left. James, take us home, man. What are your final thoughts on this? The entire business model that we spent the last 2 days going over it. Like, what are your thoughts? And take us home.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on if you're thinking about starting this business or you're just getting your feet wet, there is no actually, I was thinking about this yesterday, believe it or not, and I was like, you know what, I got to say this at the end, and I would have forgotten it unless you said this to me. So, the saying that says like, if you want to like get far, help somebody else get far, right? Like, if you want big things, help somebody else get big things, and then naturally you'll get bigger. I'm probably butchering it, but what business out there can you even think about that when you make money, the business makes money, right? So most of the time transactions happen where you take my money and I take like a tangible object, right? Or I have to get my garage door fixed and I'm just out of money. In this business, when somebody's paying you 1,000, you should be helping them make way more than 1,000. That's when they don't cancel. And so this is the best business out there. The reciprocity, the ability to help your local business in your area or any business. And it's just like a feel good business. I mean, there's nothing better than a business owner saying, "Man, thank God. Thank God I found you because I'd be out of business in 3 years if I didn't find you." There's no better feeling in the world. And so it ends up not only being about you, which and I in life, I think that's what it should be. I think that, you should wanna make a lot of money, but if you could do it by helping others make a lot of money, you can't get better than that. So that's how
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it home.
Yeah, I love it. Well, with that being said, for those of you that are interested in the trial option, jump into the trial. The QR code is up there. As you jump into that trial, you'll get the snapshots, resources, and everything that James has planned for the event. So if you're watching on replay, let us know. Hashtag replay so that way we have a good idea of who's watching on replay. I know there's a lot of time zone stuff, but either way, I look forward to the next
Mentorship. I
event.
got to give the mentorship away
This is true.
really quick.
Yeah,
I know you
yeah,
probably got
yeah.
to get back into the event. So we got to just, I'll give you 10 seconds to give me a comment of,
Let's actually give it a little bit more time. I know last time when I looked at the giveaways that the comments were still trickling in and you had already chosen so
okay.
fast.
All
So
right.
for those of you that are serious about the mentorship, type James Bond in the comment.
Double O seven.
007 or James Bond. Maybe 007's easier. If you're watching it on mobile, it's probably easier. But yeah, go through. I see comments. I have yet to see any 007 comments. Now it makes me want to
There.
go watch the old trilogy again. um, but I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the conference, man.
Yeah, it'll be
It's
good
gonna be a
time. It'll be
lot of
good
big
times.
players. A lot of big players coming in. Yeah, there you go. A lot of you are typing mentoring or mentorship. That works too. Just
Yeah,
give us,
whatever.
yeah. All right, I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. All right. I'll close my eyes so nobody thinks I'm like picking a specific person. And we'll go up, down, go up one more time. Let's go up one more time. Oh, Jesus. Bryant Gadget. It was somebody else, but it changed so fast. I couldn't catch the name.
Okay,
Bryant Gadget.
congrats, Brian. So if I can remember correctly, you had Seth Perez, Victor, Brian, and someone else. I can't remember
Yeah, Victor
yesterday.
Abu, Seth Perez, and then Bryant Gadget. Yesterday, I gave a coaching away to that guy, so we
Okay,
gave
cool.
two today.
And feel free to reach out to James for additional stuff. Obviously his coaching is not part of high level.
No,
We stay kind of unbiased on all of that. There's a ton of different people that provide great,
yep,
amazing coaching in the community. But either way, you should be in the Facebook group of high level in case if you're not, and just in case if you don't know this as well, we have something called the 5 day challenge where if you're brand new to business, we teach you how to get your first customer and I'll give you a clue. AI reviews got something to do with it as an offer. So come next week, we'll have our 5 day challenge. I think today's Tuesday. So Thursday, we should have a masterclass. This weekend, we'll have a podcast. But keep in touch. Let us know how we can improve. And looking forward to the next one.
can I jump in for 1 second before you hang up?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I don't want to be known as a he picked all guys guy. So I'm going to give a coaching away. It just happened to be that way. There's probably more men on here. That's why I'm going to give away a coaching to Mary Bostwick because she's had a lot of good comments and she's from New Jersey. So Mary Bostwick, you get a coaching spot too.
I love it. I love it. Are you okay with us picking two more female entrepreneurs?
Not at all. Let's do it.
Can we do let's see, Daniela Mohil and I'm just looking at the last two uh and Jesse Knotts.
Okay.
Thank you, James. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of
That's a
course.
good point. I didn't even think about that. But
Yeah. And so just email me for those winners, visibilitycloud411 at Gmail. You can find me all over the place. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I mean, you'll find me if you
okay.
don't know it. All right.
We'll catch you on the next one, guys and gals. We'll have the next event, I believe, Thursday. It's a big master class. We go through and pick a certain topic for master classes and teach similarly. But bye for now. Thank you, James. I'll
All
see
right.
you in
Thank you.
person
In
later this
October.
year.
Sounds
Okay.
good.